Today's video has a pumpkin theme. Let's jump into some easy, budget-friendly fall crafts. For this craft, you'll need a Dollar Tree foam pumpkin, and I'm going to give it a coat of Waverly plaster chalk paint just to cover up the orange so it doesn't show through what we're covering the pumpkin in. I saw a pumpkin stem made out of paper on Pinterest. I didn't read the tutorial, I just sort of dove into it, and the way I did it worked out just fine. You'll just gather the paper into your hand. Don't roll it because that won't give the same effect, the right look. So you'll just gather it into your hand, and I'm just going to sporadically stick some hot glue in there to keep the stem held together. Then I'm going to give it a good coat of Mod Podge. I'm taking my paintbrush in between the openings and just giving it a good thorough coat, and then we'll twist it. You'll just twist it very tightly until it keeps its shape, and this will make 2 pumpkin stems because we'll be cutting it in half. I have this bag of corn husks from Walmart. It was $5 and some odd cents, but there are so many corn husks in here. You could certainly just buy some corn and dry out the husks yourself. There's tutorials on the best way to do that online. I found some on Pinterest. But I was being lazy and I just bought this bag ready to go. And there are so many corn husk tutorials, so y'all might see some more this year since I have this huge bag and barely used any of them. I just began hot gluing the corn husks to the pumpkin, and there really was no rhyme or reason to it. And the corn husks are not going to wrap all the way around unless you just get some strangely long corn husks. They're probably not going to wrap all the way around, and you'll have this bare spot on the bottom, but we'll just cut a couple of circles out and to cover the bottom, and I think that looked just fine. Once our twist of paper has dried completely, we're just going to cut it in half and then we'll glue it to our pumpkin. I really liked how this turned out, and I think I like this stem just as much as a branch stem. Just for a little more embellishment, I cut out a couple of fake leaves out of the corn husk to add underneath the stem. If you know someone that does canning, odds are they are on a regular basis throwing out canning rings and canning lids. I don't think they reuse the lids at all. They do reuse the rings, but once they start getting rusty, most people just throw them out. So if you know someone that cans, or if you can use these leftover rings to make different crafts as well as the lids. You could paint the rings, or you could do like I'm doing and leaving them as they are, but covering them with a piece of ribbon. I've had this ribbon forever. You can see that red price tag on it. I don't know how long it's been since they've used those price tags, but I love the color. It's a nice in between orange and gold. It's just a really nice orange color. I'm just going to take a piece of ribbon and wrap it around each ring. There's 20 total, and just using hot glue to glue those on. Now I'm just going to gather groups of these lids together on one side and nest them into each other, all facing the same direction. And then I will take a zip tie and secure them together. I made 3 groupings. One was a group of 6 and 2 groups of 7. Once you've got it fastened tight, you'll just clip away the excess of the zip tie so it won't stick through your pumpkin. and then you'll take another zip tie and bring them all together. If you had longer zip ties than I had, then that would make this a lot easier. But I found that using some needle nose pliers to reach in there really helped to tighten up that last zip tie. Using our leftover stem from our last project in this video, I'm just going to hot glue the stem inside the pumpkin. I have this little pumpkin from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to use these berries that came on it, hot glue those on there, and I'll be adding a leaf as well. This next project is definitely my favorite. I just took some canvas drop cloth that I got from Home Depot a long time ago. I used this drop cloth when we were painting our house. And I cut 2 rectangles the same size. And I'm going to glue 3 of the sides, leaving one end open for the top of our little bag that we're making. I'm turning it inside out now and sticking a book down inside just to create a firm surface because we're going to be using these rub-on transfers to spell out the words pumpkin seeds. I ended up not using the 1 pound because I just didn't think it needed it, but that's also an option. These rub-on transfers work great on fabric. You just have to scratch them just a little bit longer than what you normally would and really work it into the fabric. Now at first I was going to make a pumpkin out of some felt. I just took a oval template and cut out 3 ovals to make the pumpkin, but then I decided that I just did not like the look of it, but that is another option that you could do. I ended up just tracing around the pumpkin that I made, and I'm going to paint it with pumpkin chalk paint by Waverly. Once I got the base of our pumpkin painted, I just made 2 more tones of orange paint. One, I added more brown truffle paint to the orange, and the other one I added just a little bit so that we could do some shading and outlining. I really liked how the pumpkin looked, how it turned out, but there was a definite disconnect between the letters and the pumpkin. At first, I tried, just roughing up the letters a little bit, scrunching them up and trying to crack the transfer, and it made some like hairline cracks, but the transfer was on there pretty good, and it didn't make much of a difference. So what I ended up doing is taking some of the orange paint and coloring in the letters, trying to connect the two to make the letters more similar to the pumpkin, so they look like they went together. I liked how that looked, but it still wasn't enough, so I decided to outline the pumpkin in black, and I think that did the trick. I just used some Walmart sacks to fill the pumpkin and tied the bag with twine. This next DIY is super easy. I had these canning lids. My mom gave me a whole bag of old canning lids and canning rings. So I just took 3 and I'm going to glue them together with E6000 and clamp them, and I let these cure overnight. I took some of the pumpkin paint by Waverly that I had darkened slightly with some truffle paint, and it took about 3 coats to get a real good coverage on this little pumpkin. I'm just using a piece of an old dowel as the stem, and then I will glue a little twine bow to that. I'm not sure this last DIY should count. Maybe I should have said this was 4.5 crafts, but I used a hot glue gun, so I'm going to count it. Walmart has these copper scrubbers, and they have them in stock in my store, so they might as well in your store. But I know they have them online as well. And I'm just going to take this piece of stick from my yard and hot glue it to the top and then give it a little raffia bow. I think this looks so cute sitting on my sink in my kitchen. And when fall is over, you could just rip the stick off and use the scrubber. That's it for today. I did want to let you guys know that I made an Instagram page, so you can find me over there at Craft Classy. Y'all, I do want to say thank you to all my subscribers. It seems like it's shot up lately without me even realizing it. I've been so busy crafting, and looking back, maybe I should have done a giveaway or something already. I'm so new at this. I'm going to have to get one together soon. But I do appreciate all the support and kind words. I hope you all enjoyed these DIYs. I've started planning Christmas crafts, and I'm so excited for that. Hope you all have a wonderful day. See you in the next one.